All right, day 14. We're 2 weeks in. For whoever didn't follow this challenge, basically what we're doing, we are building a Bali travel directory for my partner. We do a lot of staycations and we have a lot of content, so it's like, why not just store it in a platform? So we're gonna call it the Bali Handbook. And so far in the challenge, what we did, we created the landing page, still needs to make changes. We made the stays page where we list our stays, and we build out our single page where we review the page, we give our personal review, we give some tips about the hotel. We show the different rooms. This one is not working yet, so I think we're gonna fix this in this episode. We can click on it and it should pop up. Then we have the amenities, then the location. For the location, we still need to figure out which map embed we're gonna use. And then similar stays, this will be populated based on location, I think. So what I wanna start with, also if you didn't watch that, so we have our basic admin dashboard. So we can add a new listing, we have an overview of the stays, we can edit the stay, and then we have all those fields with the information. So we can upload images, location, etc. One thing we also need to add is the geolocation, so the longitude and altitude, if I say that correctly, because then basically we can point it on a map, and then I think that's the smartest thing to do. Otherwise, I'll ask Claude and see how we can take from there. And then we need to work on the room type today. Yeah, so thank you for watching. Let's get started in today's episode. So we're gonna clean up the admin dashboard a little bit. We're gonna make sure that everything is working here. And then, yeah, then we just move. If we like this template, everything is working, then we can start building out the different pages. So we would have stays, dining, experiences, wellness, beach clubs. We have the about page already. We still need to do a bunch of other pages as well. So let's get into the episode and start building. Okay, so whoever is new, we're using Claude and mainly Cursor for building this directory. Like the current setup is Claude, Cursor, and Supabase for the database. We'll be hosting it on Vercel, and yeah, it's very, very easy, straightforward. Then another tool we use is Super Whisper, and basically what that does, it will allow me to speak, and then it will push it to text, so I don't have to type everything. So if you just feel like, hey, what is this guy talking to? I'm talking to the AI, how sad it may sound. So for the travel directory, I want to make sure that we can say how far different things are. So let's say if people are staying in a hotel in Ubud, like how far specific activities are. Would it make sense to store the longitude and altitude to the database, or should we work with something like Google Maps link? What would be the best way so we can define distances between locations, and what is common practice? So now we'll type it out. Also, I enlarged the screen a little bit. I got feedback that someone thought my font was too small, so I enlarged it. If it's still too small, please let me know. Did this for locations. Yes, for the locations we have it, but that's like the cities. But we don't have it for the listings. Or is the listings table connected to the locations? Okay, let me quickly open Supabase and then we check if we actually have this in the database. So whoever never used Supabase, this is Supabase, and basically this is our database where we store all the data. So what I'm looking for now is our database and our tables. So I can see it here as well. So I will look for the listings, and this is all the columns of the table. So as we can see, we don't have a longitude and altitude, but we have the locations. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna open CleanShot. I use CleanShot for my screenshots. copy this, put it back into cursor, and say, currently I do not have longitude and altitude at my listings table. So we have the locations table, we have the listings, but there's no longitude, altitude in my table. Would it still work, or is it better to just add it to the listings table so we know exactly where the listing is? And then we can just say generic, like it's in this location. So then we have the longitude, altitude from Ubud, for example. What I mean by this, so in the location table, so we have the area description, latitude, longitude, but this is for the location. So if we talk about, let's say New York has specific coordinates. And I think this is just for the locations itself. So we would actually need it for the listing table. So let's see, location tables latitude, longer. Listings has foreign key location, no coordinates on option. Add coordinates to the listings table recommended. Okay, so we're gonna copy this. So look at listing essential for accurate distance locations. Yeah, no. So we would need to differentiate this, because if option 2, anything in Ubud would have the same coordinates. So let's say I'm in North Ubud and I want to go to south of Bali. It would give me the same amount of time if I would be in south. So we're going to go with option 1. So we're going to copy this SQL. Basically what it will do, it will go to the listings table and then add 2 columns for the longitude, altitude. So what you do, you go to SQL editor, you just paste it in, and that's it. So this should be done, but now what we need to do, if we have our admin dashboard, so we have location, so we would need to add it here. So we're gonna open cursor. I will make this bigger as well. We're gonna open the chat. I'm gonna tag, so it's in the dashboard, admin board. No, it should be in the admin folder, if I'm not mistaken. Admin. Listings. Stays? Yeah, I think stays. Okay, wait. In the stays edit and add page, we have a tab with location. I just added 2 columns on the listings table for longitude and altitude. I want to implement this in the admin dashboard as well, so that we can store it in Supabase. So can you please help me create 2 fields in the location tab of the stays edit and new page, so that we can store this information. So it's longitude and altitude column. So I'm gonna send this, and probably it should understand. So let's just see what it does. Usually I tag the specific file, but I think it should be able to be filtered out. Yeah, so the stay form is actually the So what this is doing, it can read the database through MCP. Still, I told it in previous episode, I still need to do some research into this. It makes my life easier that it can access my database. Yeah, so it's confirming that we need to add it to the stay form. It's confirming that the database includes the columns with the longitude, altitude, and the form data structure needs to be updated to include these fields. Now implement the changes to add longitude and latitude. I think I've been saying altitude for the whole time. Let's just have this populate. And then, yeah, I think I want to work on the stays. Not a stay. So we have the stays page. For the user interface, I still need to change it. Like, it's okay, just the padding and like the sizes of the images and stuff. I'm not a big fan. I meant the rooms and suites. So I'm not sure if we actually have it in the database. So for the listings, so for whoever doesn't know, let me quickly pull this up. So we have our listings, right? It's way too big. We have our listing. Let's just make it white. Listings. And then you can see here, we have the stays table. So listings is everything. So that can be a dining experience. It can be a beach club. It can be an activity. It can be a stay. It can be wellness. And then how this works, maybe I can just split it up a little bit. So whoever doesn't know databases, and I'm definitely not an expert, but let me try to explain this to you. And let me make it bigger maybe. So what this does, so here we store all the information, the main information that we have for every listing. So we have the ID, which is a unique identifier. Then we have the name. The slug will be the URL. We have a description. Then we have a category ID. And what this does, it links it to our category table. So in our category table, we store all the different categories. So that can be beach club, dining, stays, etc. Location ID connects to the locations table, where we store all the different locations in Bali. Price level is also linked to something. Then for the visited, it's connected to, I think something didn't go. Wait. Let me start the server again. Okay, so now let's see the location, latitude, longitude. Okay, so that's added. So let's try to, how to do this. Let me just take a location from here. Merge Cafe Amsterdam. I think you can take it from the URL. I think it should be this. And then it should be the second value after the comma. If I'm not mistaken. So I copy this. Then we save. Error saving stay. So we got an error here. So we have an error. Could not find this column of listings in the schema cache. I always say make concise changes, because sometimes what happens is just start changing the whole code or remove files. Okay, so I was explaining that here, let's say if we just talk about list stays, I will just move this away. That's maybe easier. So then we're talking about those one. So here in the stays, we have room types, amenities, check-in time, checkout time, minimum price, maximum price, and currency. So for the stays we added here, we have all this specific information. But then if, for example, we have the wellness, let me see where it is, or dining, like we don't need room types for dining because there's no rooms, right? So per category, we just specify the different items we need and we just create a new table for it. And in this table, we store columns like cuisine types, opening hours, price range, etc. So we can specify exactly per category what we need, but then it's all connected to the main listing that is basically the central point of this application. Remove the details field from the listings of that operation. Okay, let's see if this works. Say updated successfully. And let's see if it's actually stored. Yes. Okay, so now here it's stored. It can be that it's just on local. So what I want to test here, if we go to listings, we go all the way to the right, we can see that it's actually successfully stored in the database. So that's amazing. All right, so let's move to the room types. I'm going to open a new chat because it's only related to the room types, and I'm going to talk to Claude again. Okay, so for the room types, we currently have in the stays table rooms, and also in the admin dashboard, we have a tab with rooms information. So we have room name, price, and description. We also actually need fields for images, so we can show the images of the room. Just currently, if I look at the database, we have a column, room types, which is a text field. So I'm not sure if it's properly set up that we can actually store the right information. So can you please analyze the current setup and give recommendation on how we should structure it? Thank you. Very important, guys. Always thank the AI. Like, we never know what's going to happen in the future. I actually think that Super Whisper, the tool that I use, is doing it automatically. And of course, I'm joking, like, whoever cares if you're actually thanking the AI. I just do it. I think I'm just raised in a formal way. But I think that actually Super Whisper is just adding thank you by default. So let this just analyze for a bit. I think it's using the wrong MCP. Settings, cursor settings. MCP use the Bali travel directory MCP. Did you guys ever build a directory? If so, did you do it no code like WordPress, or did you code it yourself, or did you use tools like Cursor, or what else is there? There's a few other tools. The stays table has a room types, column divided as string, Supabase types. There's simple array strings, not a structured format. Name, description, price. The structure is used in multiple components. Data mismatch. Recommendation, create a dedicated room types table. Stay ID. Name, description, price, display. Okay, so we can create this. So create a room types table. So again, we go to the SQL editor. We do this, and then also the images. Okay. And then I did 1 and 2. Please execute the rest. also create a bucket to store the room images. What I mean with this, within Supabase, we have something called storage and then buckets. So every bucket is like, how do I explain this? A folder, let's say on your computer. I made one so far for the listings, the profiles, and the reviews. So if someone leaves a review, they can add an image. For the listings, for example, here we have this image. So this is stored in the bucket. If you check the image address, you can see that it's in the, this is localhost, but it goes to the Supabase bucket. So yeah, it's actually missing a lot of data now. I don't know what changed. We'll analyze this after we fix that. So what's doing? Implement TypeScript types, create a migration file to create a storage bucket for. Okay, so again, we're just gonna copy this. We're gonna paste this in the SQL. Supabase, SQL editor. This I don't think we need. Okay, and then if we run this, we just want to double check storage, refresh, room images. That's correct. So we actually have our list here with to-dos. So this is just for future reference. This is done. Room type. So we're doing this right now. The toaster is actually done. So basically what the toaster is just a notification that it's increase max image size. I kind of want to. So currently by default, I think Supabase shows 5 megabyte. What I want to do anyway, just for SEO optimizations, is whenever I upload an image, just already compress it and make it WebP format. So I think it should be very hard to make it bigger than 5 megabyte. But what I also want to do is, I think I showed it here, the previous episode. Yeah, so once I upload an image, or my partner Grace, we first put it through some automated converter that we have to build. And it converts, like it compresses the image, and then it will convert it to WebP, which is a web-friendly format. And then it will store it in a bucket, so that we never have big images. Like big images look better, but it's horrible for the loading speed, so. Okay, I'm gonna run this as well. SQL editor. This never works. Okay. Okay, so let's see in the admin dashboard. We already have some issues here. Validate next cache. I always just copy paste in my errors and ask it to fix it. It's been using the client components to available server components, but your code's trying to use in the client context. I don't know why the amenities disappeared. accept. Go to the admin dashboard. Then we have rooms. We add a room type. Here's no images. Let's say deluxe room test. Say room type. Fail to add room type. Does it give any error in the terminal? Is the new room type matching the database structure currently? When I now try to upload a room, it gives me an error. Also, I don't see any upload functionality for images in the stay form in the tab for the rooms. Can you please check this? Okay, and then amenities for some reason reset. I think there might be some mismatch. Let's check the database. Amenities, room types. I think it's not connected properly. What did I want to check? Stays. Amenities. I want to open the table. See, amenities are there, just not being pulled properly from the database. Let's see if it can fix itself, or the room type form components correctly integrated into the stay form, but there might be an issue with the client side versus server side Supabase client usage. Same component use the client side get room function. I wish I could explain this to you guys, but I cannot. If you guys are developing with cursor, do you have any issues often, or is it just like room types and room images table don't exist? Cancel. They do exist. Let's see if the last change it actually fixed it or not. Rooms, add room type, no. I'll let this run. Whenever this is done, I'll get back to you. For some reason, it still didn't add it to the form. So what I'm gonna do, it's still not added to the form. Also, I lost the data from the amenities, from the check-in times. Okay, please check if the form, the state form, is still pulling the right information from the database, because I can still see the data in the database. I will also upload a screenshot where you can see that in the stay form, in the tab for the room types, when I add new room, like it only shows me the fields room name, description, and price in IDR. Other than that, nothing. So all the new tables that we added, it's all not there. So can you please make sure that the form is pulling information from the right tables in the database? Like, don't make any big changes, just make sure it's working again, and make sure that all the fields in the state form are there for the room types. So I'm also gonna upload the image here. Because interesting, you can see here that it's pulling the information. It's just not. So it's not the hero section, it's not this one, this one. It's just not, I think what it's probably forgetting is just that here in this stays.typescript, this one, that it's not pulling the information. Let's update the new Vibeform UI to include those fields. Actually, on the side of doing this series, like the main idea is that I just get comfortable in front of the camera, of course, but I also really just want to get more into development and actually understand the code, because this whole vibe coding hype, it's nice, but I also, I just want to understand more, because now server side, client side, I just don't understand enough. And probably in the future, if I keep doing this, it will constantly keep looping me in issues. Fix migration, ensure the fields are added in the room types table, not the room images table. Did we just add it to the... So we added columns there. Okay, that's done. Update room type form component, update room with images, interface, fix database migration, screen migration to new fields, migration to ensure. Okay, let's see. So edit state form. So this information is there, first date, categories, yes, images, yes. Location, yes. Timing, no. Rooms, add room type, okay. But we still don't have the image upload field, right? Amenities load, but don't save. Links, yes. Settings, yes. So deluxe room, short description, suitable for couples, included, breakfast, not included. Not relevant, save room type. And does this also show here? No. Let me see if it stores in the database. So we have room types. Yeah, so we can see deluxe room, short description. So this is all working. And this, again, is connected to the stay. So this is the test stay. So the only issue is, so I'm gonna accept all. The only issue is, like, this is all working, so please don't make any changes to this anymore. If I navigate to the amenities tab and the timing tab, this information is not displaying. The information is stored in the database, but it's currently not displaying in the form, and it's not displaying on the marketing page. Can you make sure we are displaying the right information? Because the data is in the database, so we should be able to display it. Also, for whoever is using Cursor or Claude, which model is most successful for you? Like, do you usually use 3.7, 3.7 thinking, or 3.5? For me, it really depends on which model is most fast at the moment, because sometimes 3.7 is super slow for me, sometimes 3.5 is super slow for me. I think it really depends on how many people are using it at that specific moment. So yeah, I'm gonna check when this is done and get back to you. Okay, we're still running into issues. So it made some changes. So what I'm gonna say, can you please make a detailed console log where we can see all the output data? Because still in the front end, I don't see the amenities and room types, etc. I now see also in the backend, in the admin dashboard, I don't see the amenities and I don't see the check-in time. So I think something is being wrong with the data fetching or the data converting. So please make a detailed console log so we can see what's going wrong. And then I want to add a screenshot of this. And a screenshot of the admin dashboard. Maybe the timing. Timing and amenities. The default state is loaded, but not the value being displayed from the database. Maybe that helps. Okay, so it came back with this whole debugging. Just copy paste it all. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take the screenshot from here, put them all close to each other. Copy this in as well. One, fetch the right information to show the right information. I don't know what's like, this is really why I want to learn how to code, because now I just don't understand. Like, we had the amenities, it showed. We had the room types, it showed. And then it just makes a change and then it's gone. It's nice to be a developer, I guess. I've had an issue with amenities checking out and the plane. The problem is how the data is stored and retrieved from the stays table. In the database, check-in time and checkout time are stored as empty strings instead of null. The getStay by slug function is converting these empty strings to null values. The amenities array is empty in the database. Feeling it's not gonna be fixed. Because it's stored in the database, right? We have stays. Oh, it's empty now. That's interesting. But it also doesn't store. Timing. Oh no. That's also not the most user-friendly. Wait. Okay, maybe that's just the issue. Let's see if we have 12. No, I meant to show back. Refresh this. So I think the room types text we can remove, right? Stays at the table, room types. Because we now have a table for this. Save. Okay. So I'm just gonna show this. This is the stays table, and you can see that it has amenities and it has check-in and checkout time. Why is it not showing for me? Maybe we should actually just create a table for amenities where we predefine amenities, because now it's free text input. Now I can just put whatever. I think that's a smart move to do, but not for this episode. Okay, just stays in. I can see that amenities field is text array of text. The check-in are type of text are likely arrays or empty strings. Don't know why. Yeah, here. Yeah, we also need to remove the old room type. Also for those fields, we need a rich text editor, but we can do this later. Is location working? Timing? No. Room type is working. So we have the image, we have everything. Amenity still no. It was supposed to be a short episode because I don't really have the time today, but I also kind of don't want to not finish this now. So it's saying always saves amenities as an array, even if empty, always saves checking empty. So 4 errors. Amenities. So if I save it now, it should be saved. Error saving stay. Wonderful. Wait. We still have the old room types column in the stay table. We removed this since we have a separate table for room types. Now, please remove this from the code since I got this error. So here we can still see that it's using the old room type. Yeah, room type. We'll get better at this. That's the whole point of doing this series. I want to learn. So in my free time, I'll study a little bit how this actually works with fetching the right data points from the tables, etc. And then once I get more experience, I can properly explain it to you guys. Also, if you're watching this and you're like, hey, it would be cool if you add this to the directory. Like if you're traveling a lot and you're like, hey, this would be actually added value if I will be doing research into staying somewhere, then please let me know. I'm happy to build it if I can. And also I have another series where I'm basically building my own personal website. I actually have quite a few cool ideas. And I can play more with that one because that's just for myself. This I actually want to build to a nice platform. So I'll let this run. Whenever it's done, we'll continue. So that should all be removed right now. Let's see if we can save this now. Error saving stay. Still get the same error. could not find. It just doesn't want me to finish early today. I think that's the case. But we've already fixed it. So it only fixed one file. It should fix 2 files. All right, I'll let it do the job and be right back. All right, guys, I think we're actually almost there. So it made some fixes. It's loading the amenities again. It's also loading the time. It's not stored properly in the database. I think this should work now. Yeah, so this works. Room is also working. The only thing that's not working yet is the rooms showing on the front end. So this is what we're gonna do tomorrow. We're gonna fix this. We're gonna fix the map, I think. We're gonna fix the room and suites. We're gonna give this some formatting. We're gonna give it some more styling. I think maybe we can bring this green block and blue block back so it's a little bit more colorful. Yeah, sorry that I couldn't finish this today. I really have to go. So here, this is also working now. So check and check out. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this kind of content, please subscribe. It would help me out a lot. It's free. It's also working now. Great. So yeah, please support me. If you guys want to see some other content, let me know. I actually have quite a few nice ideas and I actually want to do this with a proper video editor. But right now, this is just a series, me just going in raw, and yeah, that's it. That's me. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day, and tomorrow we continue building out those pages. Cheers.